Okay, so hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions. Myself Ashwin, and BISP Solutions is a tech company provide technological solutions across the world. Now today in this bootcamp session we are going to discuss price quotation analysis. Now what is this price quotation analysis? First let me explain you with a few scenarios. For example, I visited to my friend's city, another city. He is living in another city. Now I have to go somewhere in that city, like any tourist place. Then I ask him that what will be the taxi charges in the morning time. So he said that okay, $5 or $10, whatever it is. So it was a normal weekday, Monday to Friday. So he took $5 and I reached to that area. Okay, that is fine. Next day it was a Sunday, and the same time I stepped out from the house and I took the cab, but it took $15. Now I asked my friend that why these charges are there. So he said that, my dear friend, it's a Sunday, and on Sunday the charges are little high. So I said okay. The third day, when on third Sunday again I stepped out from the house to go some like IT park. Again more than 15 rupees was charged. So again I asked my friend. So he said that it was a special day. On that day some celebrity was to come on that area, so that's why the charges are little high. That means the price quotations, the prices vary based on the situation to situation, right? In normal weekdays, in the noon time, if you see, the taxi charges becomes a little low, but when there is some festival or any special occasion, on that day the prices goes a little high. So price quotations are different. For example, if you see in a village, in a small village, there is only one shop of computer where the laptops and desktop computers are sold, they are assembled and they are repaired. In that case, the price quotations of those shop, it varies, it is a slight costly. But in the city, like IT city of any country, every country is having its own IT city, right, where the IT is on its peak. So in that city, in India, let's take in India it is Bangalore or Hyderabad or Noida. So there the prices of laptop and computers are different than any other city. So this is called price quotations. There is a variance between the price quotations, and this is what we are doing the analysis, that whether these price quotations are reasonable or not. That is what we are going to analyze. For example, if a person is opening English speaking classes, like English coaching classes in a village, so definitely he is the only one person who knows English, so definitely his fees is a little high. But in the city like Bangalore or Hyderabad or any other city where 90% people they speak English, who will go on his coaching class? So only those will come. So that's why he has to keep his fees a little low to attract the crowd. Same thing is here. We are suppose we are having so many vendors, right? Or let's take, I am having a showroom and I purchase some electronics item from the vendors. Now based on different criteria, there is a variation in the quotation of that prices given by the vendors. So our task is to just analyze that whether this price is reasonable or not. So the scenario is clear. What is the problem exactly? To recognize that, whether to just identify that whether this price whatever I'm given, whether it is reasonable or not. Just like taxi fares. If you go on Sunday evening, lots and lots of people, they go for shopping and all these things, so the fare becomes a little high. If you go in normal ordinary day, in the summer season, in the noon time, the fares becomes less. In winter season, in rainy season, the fare becomes a little high. So, and that's reasonable. That is reasonable because they are giving you the services. You are facing difficulty just because of extreme heat and extreme rainy season. They are giving you the facility. So based on that criteria, whatever they are charging, that is reasonable. In distant area village, a person has opened his computer shop. So coming and going to the city and bringing the peripherals and other parts of the computer and providing facility of internet, all this, so definitely he will charge a little high. So this is how we analyze the quotations of prices. Now suppose I have a very big showroom. In my showroom everything is sold, and from where I can get, suppose electronics items, television. So I have to contact some vendors, and those vendors, not one vendor, I will maintain the list of so many vendors, right? So many vendors means, so there is a variance of quotations. Now let's have a look on this. The scenario is clear to you that we are going to analyze the price quotations. There is a variation in the price quotations, so that is what we are going to analyze. Okay, now price quotations analysis allows customer to evaluate the cost effectiveness of a product or service. By thoroughly examining the quotation, customers can compare prices, assess the value they will receive, and make informed decisions. Now customer perspective, if I talk about customer perspective, now see here, for example, if I have a showroom and I am buying some electronics item, or let's take a television or a cooler. It's summer season right now, so let's talk about cooler. So I am buying a cooler set of like 100 pieces of coolers. Now I am the customer for those vendors, right? Now what I will do, I will check those prices and what will be the output of those. Suppose if I buy a cooler on 10,000 rupees, and if it is not sold, here the customers are like in the range of 9 to 10,000 only, or 8 to 9,000, then what will be the use of buying a cooler of 10,000? Because I will add my prices also, and then I will sell it on 12,000, then only I will get the profit. So I have to think all these things. Same thing is here. Price quotation analysis allows customer to evaluate cost effectiveness of a product or service. I have received so many quotations, but based on that I have to select that quotation which is reasonable, which is beneficial for me only. Suppose a person is selling me giving me coolers in 7,000, and if I add 1,000 and I sell them in 8,000, so I will get 1,000 profit on one cooler, or I can sell them in 9,000 also. So that is called selecting the appropriate price for the item that you are selling, and which is given by the vendor. Now supplier perspective. From the supplier point of view, price quotation analysis helps in determining the profitability of the deal. Okay, that's fine. Whatever the vendor gives you, he will definitely suggest you the best price. Market perspective. Analyzing price quotations provides insights into market trend and competitive prices strategies. Yes, you will get an idea of what's the market. Last month also, when I bought the cooler for my personal use, I saw that there are different types of coolers there, but out of which the sheet or the steel, the aluminum sheet, the coolers, some coolers are made of aluminum sheet also, they are not sold, but fiber coolers are sold in large amount. So that is the trend in market, right? because in fiber if there is a short circuit or anything, at least people are safe. But in we talk about the sheet, that aluminum sheet cooler, the whole cooler is set to the current. So that is why the market trend is like fiber cooler. So same thing is here. So let's do some practical work. Okay, so now let's do some price quotation analysis. Okay, I have already created one. Now what I am going to do, first of all, price quotation data. See, and I have received this data from NetSuite ERP, right? Because our target is to discuss how machine learning helps in business scenario. So we have prepared a report and downloaded it, right? So we are having the quotations, for example, product category, then we have the quantity, vendor rating, then you will see urgency level, and then you will see the quoted prices, right? Now see here, let me close this. Now first of all, I will create I have created this CSV file, right? I have downloaded it from NetSuite ERP, and now I have going to analyze this. Okay, so now let's go to create a IPython file, that is interactive Python notebook. Okay, now see here, just a second, let me check. Okay, it is live. Yeah, okay, now we have to wait for 2-3 seconds. Now see here, just one more second. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, now what I am going to do is, first of all, see, when we are talking about machine learning and all these things, we have to work with some libraries. These are some libraries. Pandas is a very well-known library which is used for data massaging. NumPy, then the Torch module, Torch, and then neural network library, right? Optimization, train, test, split, and all the standard scalar, enable, encoder. I will explain you time to time. Okay, now let's wait for this to pull all the libraries. After that, let's see this. Now see, first of all, I will show you the DF. Look at this. First of all, what thing has done, let me do one thing. Encoder, after this DF, not this, just remove this. Wait, DF. Let me remove this, right? Just a second. Let me Control X here. Now first we will do like this, right? Now see here, product category, quantity, vendor rating, and urgency level is high, and quoted prices. See, when urgency level is high, again the quoted price goes high. Vendor rating also put an impact. Quantity, how much quantity you are buying. If you are buying 100 pieces, then the quoted price would be less. But if the urgency level is very low, in that case also quoted price would be little less. Now what we have done here, LE category, right? Level encoder. Now we are using two level encoders. What they do, they make product category into the digital format, right? Numerical, and urgency level also into the numerical, because this artificial neural network, they don't work on alphabetic order, right? Alphabetic value. So what we have done, we have just level encoder. So LE category fit to transform, and then DF category, product category. Now in this way, DF becomes fully numerical. Okay, our data frame becomes fully numerical. Now what's next? Let's check it out here. If you see X and Y, again the same thing that we are doing. We are separating the data into two parts. One is the x and one is the y. X means the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. And from this x part we have removed the quoted price, because quoted price is the dependent value and that is what we are going to extract. Okay, so now if I show you the x, that is this, and y, that is this. Okay, and why it is done? Because you see here axis 1 dot values and dot values, we have see here fit to transform. So here we have done, and now it has become -1 to 1. No, sorry, it is, they are converted into this format. Okay, now for the ease of calculation, that is their internal mechanism. Now see here, if I make here like this, scalar x. Now if I change x, look at this, -1 to 1. Now why it is doing like this, fit to transform and scalar x? The reason is that for easy working, the machine learning, it changes the data. Take an example, when you were in 12th standard, or I was in 12th standard, we used to buy the books of 12th syllabus, but first we prepare the notes in elaborated language, then only we used to write. Simple book language we never write in the exam. Same thing is here. Whatever you have provided, they provide, the machine learning, the ML converts it into the way that it understands. Fine. Second, now see here, scalar y also same thing, scalar y flatten. Now I will show you this -1 to 1, right? So that's the reason, that is internal mechanism. Now the third part is train test split, right? So the train test split here, if I show you x underscore train dot shape comma x underscore test dot shape, y underscore train dot shape, y underscore test dot shape. Look at this, some spelling mistake here. Now see, 80-20, 80% is changed to training part, 20% is changed to testing part, because 1000 rows are there, so 820 it can be easily calculated. Random state 42 means it will not shuffle the data, right? So now let's move ahead. Let's see this part. Okay, now see here, x train, x test, y train, y test, we have converted into the tensor, because we all know that tensor is the way that the machine understands. Okay, the PyTorch understand. Now let's do this. Now see, this is the function. Price quotation model is the class, and init is the function, and forward is the function that passes the value, right? Let me show you here, it will be more clear to you. Just a second. Look at this. To overcome the overfitting problem and the used for data passing. See here you see what we have done in this function, super function, this price quotation model. 4 is the column name, 4 columns are there in x train, right? So we have divided into 128 neurals. Second time 128 neurals becomes input, and 64 neurals, it is divided into 64, then 64 becomes 32, then 32 neurals input is ultimately converted into 1, that is we have to provide one output only, right? We have to extract the value. nn dot relieve, that means again it removes all the negative values, 0 to 1 only. Then self dropout to what we say, to avoid the situation of overfitting, right? After that, this forward is the function that passes the value, right? You see here, function is just passing the value. Now what next here, if you see model, model price quotation model. Okay, this is the model and criteria, and then MSE loss, right? Here is MSE loss, mean square error loss. Yeah, here it is mean square error loss. So mean square error loss. Okay, and here is optimizer. Learning rate is 0.0005, right? So we are using that. Now training the loop. Our very favorite work is training the loop. So now we are going to do the training, right? Let's wait until it stops here. Okay, now see here. Now see, let me show you this. Epochs is 200 for every epoch in range epochs, and model.train, right? Then optimizer 0.grade. 0 graded means it start from the beginning, and after that extend outputs, then loss backward optimizer. These are all the steps that we have to take. And you see here we are showing the loss here, like 0.99, 0.98, 0.98, 0.97, all these comes up to this level 0.95. that means the loss has been reduced. Okay, after that model evaluation, we are doing the model evaluation. So torch.no grade, no graded means we are not doing the back propagation. After that predictions. So we are going to now just a second, here plotting the loss only, right? Let me show you this, how it is done. Plotting the loss, we are plotting the loss. Look at this. At the beginning the loss is very high and MSE loss is very high, and then after every epoch we reach up to this level, correct? Then what we are going to do, now we are plotting actual versus predicted. Now see here, we plotted actual versus predicted, but we see there is a difference. If there is a too much variance here, if there goes, but it is not meeting the accurately, right? So there is a difference, there is a loss, not 100% it is matched. Okay, now what we are going to do here, now see here, predict a new model. We are going to predict with new model. Okay, and then what we are doing, new features, we are adding new features, scalar transform, new input df, data frame, new input df, this is the data frame, dot values, right? Whatever the values, and product dot evaluation, right? So just a second here, and now finally here we have just created one function only, right? And here if you see, I'm going to show you this. Look at this, new quote data. Now product category is electronics, quantity is 50, vendor rating is 4.2, and urgency level is very high. Now we have just passed this data. Now we are going to pass this data. Right now the data is not passed. Here we are going to pass the data. Yes. Now see here, predicted is 319. Now if you see here, if I make it as dollars, now see, if I show you here, like quantity, electronics quantity is high, vendor rating is like, if I make it as low, then see 399, what will happen? Look at this, 319 becomes 313, because I have given the urgency level is very low. Same thing I have initially explained you. On Sunday I stepped out from the house to visit IT park, that is why the fare was large, but my priority was like Monday to Friday. On that day the fare was little less. Now suppose if I make it as high, and then the quantity required is 500. Now see, out of 313 how much becomes? Previously it was, look at this, when the quantity is goes high, it becomes $180. Why? Because you are buying so many items. And suppose if I make vendor, now how it works, let me see this. Look at this, 231. So suppose if I make it as 5, now see what will happen. Look at this, $154. So in this way, it depends on the in your daily life also you might have observed that you might have observed that when you purchase the amount in the items in bulk, the shopkeeper will keep the price as low as possible, and if you buy only one item, the price becomes a little high, right? So let's take a quick recap here. Okay, so let's take a quick recap here. First of all, what we have done here, we have just taken the value from the NetSuite ERP and we have saved into a CSV. In CSV, product category, quantity, vendor rating, urgency level, quoted prices, all these things are inserted. Now based on that, we have to just analyze that based on this how would be the price. It is just like that only. Suppose a child is sitting on his shop since childhood with his father, so till the age of 25 he becomes expert in setting up the prices. He becomes expert in communicating with the different types of customers. Same thing is here. We are providing the data to the machine learning, and on the basis of that it creates a pattern. If the quantity is very high, then the price will become a little low. So it automatically generates an algorithm behind this, right? That is called the training. And testing means we provide the data and based on that it gives you the output. Okay, so let's take a quick recap. First we have imported all the libraries, then we read the CSV. After that, what we have done, we have label encoded. With the help of label encoder, we converted all the alphabetical value into the numerical value. Then we see here we divided the data into two parts, that is the dependent and independent variable. Dependent is x, dependent is y, sorry, independent variables is x and dependent is y. The value quoted, the quoted price, that is what we are going to extract. Then after that, scalar, with the help of scalar fit to transform, we converted the data into a special format that the machine learning can understand. After that, after the scaling of data, we converted into train test split. What train test split does, it divides, it separates the data 80-20%, right? 80% for training, 20% for testing. After that, X train test, they are converted into the tensors. Then we created a function, we pass the value in that function. With the help of that, after that we create an epoch. Epoch means it's a repetition through which we are training our program, training our data, and with the help of which we have after certain repetitions the loss becomes as low as possible. That is what our target is. After that, model evaluation is done with the help of a function. Then we plotted the loss of the data, right? And then we plotted the predicted value as well as the actual value, right? Then what we have done, we found it that it is not 100% accurate, but still we can predict the data. So with the help of this predict new quote, on the basis of that we applied our new data. New data is here, and with the help of which we extracted the price based on the data. So this is as it says 154.04. look at this, 154.04. Normally near about this only now, right? It is not showing a very what we say unimaginable data. It is giving like 154 0.04, that is fine. So this is how we evaluate and calculate the price, right? So in olden days, what a complete person has to spend, 10 to 15 years in his business, then he become capable in taking the decisions or setting up the prices. But with the help of this machine learning, it becomes easier to define the prices, right? Just take an example. In olden days, when there were no online taxi facility, so in that case, the auto driver or the taxi, he has to memorize all the each and every route of the city, right? You also might have observed that in olden days, when there were no online taxi facility, the taxi driver, he should memorize all the roads and all the colonies, all the shortcuts of the city. Then only he would be eligible for driving auto. But today, anyone can comes from any other city, and he can just use the Google map, and with the help of that, he start, and from next day he start doing taxi drivery, right? So that adds the value to the society. Similarly, here also machine learning added a value to the corporate, that you don't need to be a businessman since childhood. If you know how to use the technology, if you know how to make use of the machine learning, you can easily grow your business by taking some simple decisions, right? And in taking decisions, this machine learning, artificial neural network, they will help you a lot. So that's the power of machine learning and deep learning. And my suggestion to you is to just watch this video twice, thrice, because in one attempt it will not be clear. For most of you, it will be clear also, but for maximum, it will not be clear in one attempt. So my suggestion is to just watch this video twice, thrice, and then if you have any issue in that, you can directly message me. I will be there to help you. So today we are concluding here. In our next session, we will discuss another important topic, right? So, and those who are attending this session for the first time, so they please share and subscribe my channel. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you for attending the bootcamp session. See you tomorrow.